That snaps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
Yeah,
you want one quick question?
we can't ask Rashad questions.
On the
Hey,
Halle
Rashad.
Bailey, Halle Bailey and DDG situation. Um, very briefly because I wanted to get into more in depth with some people who actually know about parenthood. I don't have kids, so I don't know anything about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate when people are like, "Man, yeah, DDG need to do this, and he need to do." Like, you don't even have kids. You know what I'm saying? So how you gonna tell us what's up? And I will give the background bias and stuff like that. I am a follower, a longtime follower of DDG, a longtime supporter of DDG, subscriber, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm also a supporter of Halle because she's from Atlanta and stuff like that. She's from the Atlanta area. I believe they're from like Dunwoody or something like that. Her and her sister and their family and stuff. And they grew up, on Tyler Perry Productions. That's some over there by Greenbrier, on the west side and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So they are Atlanta through, all the way up through their careers and stuff. So I'm also a fan of Halle. But I'll probably side a little more with DDG on stuff just because I followed him, like, kind of intense. And I met him more. I've interviewed him twice. Halle, I've only met her, I believe, once. I've probably seen her and her sister perform when they were kids at some Atlanta thing. Like, I don't know. I don't know where they would perform, but I probably seen them somewhere as kids. Just like Lotto. Like, I've seen Lotto perform on her come up around the city just because, like, she was trying to be a rapper for so long. But getting back to the topic, I'm aware of DDG more. So I'll say this, man. With the situation that it looks like, I know DDG has gone out of his way to not throw dirt on Halle's name. Like, he's gone out of his way to say, don't attack Halle. Um, when he had his homeboys or his cousins or whatever like that on Kai's stream said, "Yo, have you checked Twitter? It really bounced back on her." He said, "Shh," because he knew he was on camera. He knew he was on stream. So that might be the way that he talks about Halle and everything like that. Away from it, off stream, off camera, and stuff like that. But on camera, on the internet, everything like that in public, he never talks down on her. Last night was the first time that he has publicly and consistently doubled down. He tweeted, he went live, and he knew the clips was going to be clipped up and go. He knew what it was going to do because he knows who he is. He's been on the internet for a long time. That he's done that. And he said he believes it was his last opportunity and chance. Me personally, seeing battles with my uncles and my own personal family and immediate family situations and stuff like that, I've seen people. How do you say this? I've seen people take months, sometimes years, to settle the custody differences between the parents and stuff like that. Of who gets the parents, what time do they get the kids and stuff like that. What happens if it's your weekend and you're out of town on business and stuff like that. And I would assume that it's a little more complicated with two celebrities because the schedules are so hectic and you probably don't know what you're doing until like the day before or something like that if you're even going to be available. And yeah. And then the money involved, like, should DDG have to pay a child support? You know what I'm saying? If they both make millions, like, like, Holly's in a lot of movies. She wasn't just in the Little Mermaid. She was also in Color Purple, and she's in a bunch of other movies and stuff like that. So she's making a lot of money. And then you got to think about all the residuals that she probably gets from just the Chloe and Halle days. A lot of people are looking at her singles and her solo artist career and stuff like that. All of those numbers, but you have to consider the fact that Chloe and Halle still probably get streamed and make money from that and stuff like that, from all those plays and streams and stuff like that from that era. So, I'm saying this to say she's well off. I believe she's well off. DDG is obviously well off because he's a little more loud with his stuff. And Holly's on Snapchat as well. And DDG said that he makes more money on Snapchat than any other social media platform. So I know that Holly's making a bag off of Snapchat as well. Anyways, regardless, getting back to it. They both have money. They both have hectic schedules. How do you break that up? All of this stuff, it's probably going to take a little while for the judge to kind of come to a certain thing. That's what DDG was trying to avoid. Like he said in the video, now I got to go to court. I don't want to go to court and do all of this just to see my son. That's what he said. And I believe him. I believe him because it's some other stuff, some small things that I've just picked up or whatever throughout the course of their relationship that shows me, like he said, Halle isn't, you know what I'm saying, just like the innocent, perfect person that might be her branding and stuff like that on that type of level. Which her fans say as well, which is crazy. It's like her fans say this themselves. So it's like for them to just automatically assume that he's this evil guy, which is crazy. Like, do I think that he's done some childish stuff and everything? 100%. But I think she's also moved childish as well. Like, so I don't think there's anybody that's like, this person is above the other. I think they both kind of moved in a crazy way. But I also don't think that makes them. I don't think DDG is evil. I'll say that. I don't think DDG is evil. And I'll say this without knowing her or the situation. I don't think Halle's intentions are evil. I think it's just an emotional situation. It's emotional attachments on both sides. DDG really loves his son and he really wants to see his son and he really wants to be in his child's life in an active way, in a way that's more than 24 to 48 hours at a time. Halle really loves her son and she wants to be with her son most of the time. If she's not around her son, I think she said like she feels like her soul isn't complete or whatever, like, but she feels like she's at peace when she's with her son. She feels the exact same way about the baby. So it's like with those emotions involved, any and everything is just a bit heightened. Like your interactions are heightened, your responses are, well, you never care about a baby, da, 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 da. Like, because it's just an emotional situation. And I think that's just what the case is on both ends. So I did want to say that. Like I said, I'll get more into it when I can be with a parent that has dealt with custody battles in court and all that stuff. But yeah. And then yeah. For the final thing, Caleb Wilson's warrant. So
That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Seeing Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
We can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.